Hello and welcome back to this week's Live About Events. If this is your first time joining me, my name is Tiffany English and I am the founder of Velvet Style Event Marketing. I'm an event strategist and I help companies, businesses, brands utilize events as a marketing strategy. And this Live About Events is quick, about 10 minutes or less strategies, tips, and tactics about planning a better event from me, an event professional. So if this is your first time, please subscribe to my YouTube channel to continue to get content specifically around in-person events and check out some of my past live streams. But this week, I want to jump right in. So today's topic is all about how to get the venue capacity right, okay? And usually I will come up with a topic to discuss based on some real life examples or situations that I have been in. And the reason I want to talk about venue capacity is in the last couple of weeks, I've been to a few in-person events, and those times that I was there, we were at max capacity. And when I say that to say, you can definitely feel it in the room. Okay, so these events were networking type events. So they had, drinks and light bites, but we're talking about shoulder to shoulder, people. And there was one event that was just got to be a bit uncomfortable. And when I say that is, you got so many people into a confined space, it gets hot, it gets hard to maneuver around. And then I went to another event and primarily the same deal. So I wanted to talk really quick about how to choose the right venue, meeting space for your intended attendee account. And, it's a fine line. Sometimes that's hard. But what I will say is utilizing the venue for suggestions. So if you go and reach out to a venue and the first thing they're going to ask you is how many people. The thing about your, setting up the venue for your event is to having the details of your event and your room setup all ready to go, because the way your room set up is going to entail like what the capacity is, because whether it's a cocktail reception, whether it's a full dinner reception, those are going to put in play on the size of the room and your capacity. Now you lean in your venue as the expertise in knowing their space, but what I will say is you never want to max out capacity. So let's say you want a room for, a small, cocktail event, 50 people, and the venue is telling you their capacity is at 50. Then you'll probably want to cap it at about 30 to 35 attendees. You want to have a natural flow, and you don't want to max it out, because the venue is going to, they're going to give you their number, but a lot of things don't take into account, right? The tables, like how many tables are being set up. Is there any type of staging for a presentation? So you're going to want to give all those details to your venue manager so they can make an informed decision about the amount of space that you need based on your people count. Okay. And then you, as the expert in that event, you have that inside knowledge of what all the details are in your event. You're going to have to make an informed decision on if that room capacity is going to be enough for the attendees that you expect. Now, this is where an event professional comes in, because you, as an event professional, I deal with a lot of different room setups. Okay, so we can work together to see what's the best space for that. Whether you're going to have even, a dinner, how is it set up? Is it going to be full rounds? That's 10 people in a table. How big are the tables? Are they the full, 8 feet, 8-inch rounds? Are they smaller? Is this a cocktail area? Are there vendors? So a lot of questions come up with setup. And that's something important to get really hone in on what your setup's going to be in the first place. So I would say there's been, even for me doing this all day, every day, there are definitely mistakes that I've made. And one mistake is asking the venue what their capacity is for the room is. And they'll give me like, oh, it's 150. Oh, that's great. We only need, 75, 80 people, but not taking into account that our room setup is for crescent rounds, which is, 6 people at a table. So now, the half that space is going to be, cut in half. So now we really don't have capacity for 150 people because we're going to have more tables in the room. So making an informed decision on how you want things laid out is really going to affect not only the capacity, but like the flow, and then getting detailed plans. So when you go to the venue and you're looking for that room, having them give you a detailed diagram, looking at pictures, where are things in relationship to the room, where are the exits, where are you having a presentation, where would that go? So being able to identify what that room looks like and how it's shaped. Is it long? Is it square? You want to take those into account as far as what that space would look like in relationship to the event you're planning. Okay. And this all goes into giving the attendee a comfort in a great experience, because nobody wants to be in a room where it's maxed out. Okay. Even if it's a great event, great speakers, nobody wants to just be, shoulder to shoulder with people. And I imagine that we've all been to an event where, that's the first thing that you complain about. Oh my gosh, it was so many people. So you don't want people to have that experience at your event. You want them to be comfortable, not only that, and come back to future events, because if they have that in their mind, who knows if they're going to come back to the next event. So I think we talked briefly about just little things that will help with your venue capacity. And what I will say is, if you do, one other tip too is choosing a room that you can expand. So if you see that your numbers are going up, you started with 50 people, but now it's going to, 60, 75, maybe 100 people. Are you able to expand that room? Now, a lot of hotels have ballrooms that, that are divisible, right? So maybe you get, one part of the ballroom. Ask if the entire ballroom is available, or what sections of the ballroom are available, and ask if you can expand. Normally the venue will say, okay, yeah, we have it available, but it's an extra charge. But knowing that up front, so maybe getting one half and seeing that once your registration numbers are increasing, going back to that sales manager and saying, oh, we'd like to book another section. Now, sometimes the venue will throw it in if it's really close, and especially when it gets closer to the date and they can't really sell it to another group, they might throw it in. But that's not a guarantee, not to expect that. But just having that in the back of your mind and just keeping up with your event is in the communication between the sales manager. So those are just a few thoughts. I mean, we can go on and on about, setting up the perfect venue, but I just want to give you some food for thought when you are putting together the numbers in your event and reaching out to the venue. Just a quick, overview of what the event is and what your expectations are will be helpful when dealing with the sales manager of that venue. And with that being said, I think that's it. I just wanted to get on quickly. Like I said, Live About Events is quick, 10 minutes or less, topics about something helpful to guide you in your in-person event planning. So if you did find conversation helpful, please like, subscribe, comment, and check out some more of my other videos. Please let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts about if you've ever been in a situation where the capacity just did not fit the event. So feel free to comment. I respond to all of them, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. So until next time, I will talk to you soon and give you another aspect of events next week.